smokes now subside, it's time for the first matches of Season 5, but not official. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Klops. We're back from vacation. So are you. Welcome in, and it's been a pleasure to serve you in Season 4. Hopefully you'll be around with us for Season 5 and the LAN. Armata versus Anonymous 5. It's the pro placement tournament. Seven teams of somebodies will be pro teams at the end of this all, and then the rest will go back to their respective places. Fast play, out to long. And look at the interp on that kill. Doom died like 5 feet away from that bullet shot. That was ridiculous. You saw that, didn't you?
I did see it, yeah. It was a funny looking kill, but...
Please, somebody tell me that was GoTV. That was absurd. Anyway, long has stalled up. 2 players, including the bomb, are stalling here. Look at the minimap or the overhead. There's a fake, and it's a loud fake. Players are hoping on the T side, the 7 and 6 man, the guy, and I believe... Oh, the 8 man, excuse me. Reds are hoping for those players to move back toward B. It's a fake around the world with only 2 players. They seize the catwalk, they'll have full A control. If they can just get Brunson down, what is going... Oh my god! How did that feel so badly? McVizzle hits 2 great-looking shots. USP under control. What was not under control was the entire ordeal at the catwalk.
Yeah, I honestly thought that, well, I kind of figured that A5 had the advantage there because that fake didn't sell anything. I mean, just running through B tunnels, sure, you're making a little bit of noise for the mid guy, but they had 2 people stacked on cat, so they hear that noise as well. They're going to sit exactly where they are. If they need to rotate to B quickly, they can make it there, no problem.
Well, I'll
but
tell
yeah,
you what
that
happened.
Glock fail, I mean...
That strat was designed to be something way different, because somebody died early, they had to make up a new strat, and it wasn't too bad for a new strat.
Yeah.
Shooting people in the back of the head, not a great way to start, but Romulus picks up 2 with the CZ, and that just illustrates for you how powerful that weapon is, that it can just dig you out of a terrible situation. A FAMAS recovered a bomb plant, and I'll tell you what, 2 kills, if it's 3 and a bomb plant, that's a successful round. Frankly, 2 kills and a bomb plant, I still call this a success.
Definitely a success. God, you got me all tongue-tied.
That word.
Definitely a success. Like you said, they got 2 kills. Bomb plant was the most important thing for that round. They could go ahead and buy now if they would like. They're going to be light on an op, but they could definitely pick up AKs and armor and go to 10. Looking at the money for the counter-terrorists, you know, they got to spend everything that they got if they want to upgrade to M4s here. So, yeah, I mean, the terrorists are going to be ahead in terms of gun advantage right now.
Here's a critical decision. You want to use your AKs and you want to win the battles that you can win at a distance. So look for this play to go toward long, and it seems to be self-prophesizing and fulfilling that they go out toward long, but not into it. They'll go to palm, and then up cat. The 5-man is not looking at the door, not just yet. He just saw, I believe he just saw Amaru. Is that how you say that name? Is that a new one?
I believe so, yeah.
Did he change his name? Is that Doom? No, it wasn't. Anyway, McVizzle up the top of the ramp, sees 3, gets his M4 just barely under controls, and then just trades himself out. 2 versus 3. Doom waits for the rotator. Like we said, this is a critical decision you have to make as a CT. You realize that you're out upgraded. They're at the final tier of weaponry, like tier 3 if you'd like to name it. And those FAMASes, they can't keep up with the AKs at times.
No, they can't, and I actually like what Armata did, how they decided to go up catwalk instead of long, because I think they figured the long stack would be there, which it was, and they decided to just rush cat, and they got up there quick and were able to still have a nice long shooting match between the CTs at the cross. So, I mean, it was a good play by them.
Jaxalope attempted to go with the smoke diffuse, and both T's slid out to spray him down as he engaged the bomb, so our scoreline's currently 2-1.
Yep, and like I said, I already talked about what I liked about that round, so we'll just continue on.
Let's take a look at the performances thus far of both teams. Nearly mirrored, I guess. Romulus leading the pack for the T's, and McVizzle doing the same on the CTs. We'll have a non-full gun round, as we just saw the scores flip on the CTs. Nobody's economy is established enough to continuously buy rifles, so they're going to have to come up with something a bit exotic. And that exotic play happens to be a cat stack. The guy over the top then sees one at the white box in the back by the wicker baskets, and Romulus protects his teammates from being sprayed down through the smoke. It's a really good looking round, and if they can keep the guy alive, specifically him because he's at 2 HP, if they can keep him alive, 5 people leave alive, they just hide in the pit, this is going to be a huge money builder.
Yeah, it certainly will be. I mean, he does have that Galil, so he was pretty much buying, the flank. takes him down. But yeah, he was buying just whatever he could because he died, I think, on the previous round with the AK, so he had to buy light. And it looks like they're going to have a pause here after this round. I just saw that message. So yeah, if he does save right here, then yeah, he's back in the game economically, so he's looking great.
The aim a bit jittery for Doom and Jackalope alike. 2-2, we're all tied up. The economy looks like this. For the CTs, the high number seems to be 5-8. The average of around 4-2-ish, 4-3-ish. And then you have Armata, who have bought up, of course, and are just rebuying some utilities. They have 5-6, 4-7 with a low of 2-8. Our pause, did we indicate what the pause is for?
Spangler said in console he needs 2 minutes, so he's apparently adjusting something for these guys. I'm not sure quite what it is, but yeah.
I think there was just a one comment that the var or the var, the variable rate inside of the net graph was spiking for one player or maybe a couple of players.
Okay.
And he wants this to be a clean, perfect gaming environment. So you know how much of a perfectionist he is.
Yeah. So this looks like it's going to be a bar round for A5. I mean, they obviously went for the save on the last round. The only person who's kind of low, probably going to have to force a FAMAS, is Jackalope, which isn't going to be too bad. He'll get a few nades as well. But, I mean, other than that, they should be good to go ahead and buy here.
You can Brunson can even afford an op if you want. I'm not sure if he's a designated opper, but he could deliver that to anybody. The only person that has to buy weak, of course, Jackalope, like you said. But you have, in the 4-4 to 4-7 range, good M4 buys.
Yeah, I think they should be looking good for this round coming up here. Don't know if the guy's going to upgrade. I don't see any point to it, and it looks like he just picked up armor, so I doubt he will. He's probably just going to keep rocking like a Leo. But I'm wondering what they're going to do here, because the past few rounds, the past 4 rounds, it's been pretty heavy A play. So I wonder if we're going to see a mix up towards B, or maybe a mid to B strategy from Armata coming out here. So it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with.
You don't want to break out that playbook into the pistol rounds. You kind of want to keep it simple, bunch up. Remember, against CZs, all you really want to do is have a strong entry, couple supporters, make sure that you trade and protect the guns as they go down. And then in the rounds that are more threatening, like the rifle rounds, when they have ops or when they have the auto snipers, then you start game planning. Then you start moving around and doing all the things that you had, scribbled down on your notepad. I think we're still a round or two away before we see the real complexities of this offense.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I mean, not enough money from anyone really to buy an op yet, except for Reds. But obviously, if they lose, he might have to be forced into buying an AK for someone. Well, no, they should be okay regardless. So yeah, we might see an op next round if they lose this one, but we don't know exactly what they have in store. But yeah, it's interesting to see how it's been going so far. I mean, Anonymous 5 had a really strong start. They got the pistol, and they obviously lost that bomb plant on the second round, and you see how a bomb plant can be very important in those first 2 rounds. I mean, that just swung the third round and the momentum back into Armada's favor. This match pause might be unfortunate and just take the
There's like a lot of plan.
There,
There's probably a lot of planning going on right now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's tough because you get a pause like this. I mean, I know it's to fix, the variance in the server, but I mean, when you got that momentum going and then all of a sudden you have to stop, that could put a damper in that and just completely throw you off.
There's also this observation. I don't know if you make anything of this, but you tell me. Armada's playbook thus far has been all bunch, somewhat speed, and the greatest split difference that we've seen would probably be the pistol round that sent 2 players to go back into and around the world that turned into just a 2-2 split on a bomb site. So traditionally, Armata used to go with sort of a spread pick, either a default or a designated isolated pick, and we haven't seen that yet. It's just 2, and the map is very friendly to the ISO pick play. I wonder if the offense changes dramatically this round or next round or even a couple away.
I think it will. I think that mainly they bunched up because they had the gun advantage versus the FAMASes.
Also, there were CZs across for the field.
Yeah, and because on the next round they didn't want to deal with the CZs. So I mean, like you said, if the other team most likely has CZs on their eco, then you don't want to have a spread offense and then lose a gun and then they pick up the AK and they get some momentum rolling and next thing you just got eco'd. So yeah, I think that's why they were bunched up right there. So this round and I think the next couple we'll start seeing some changes in what they're doing. But I mean, maybe they'll just stick with it and stick with it until, you know, they get stopped from doing that. I mean, they could also go that route as well. So
I'm curious to know what A5 is about to do. We've really seen nothing insofar as how they want to play their rounds. They've had that one successful eco round where they retook B, but you know their positioning, their methodology, and their rotates. I'm guessing because Dust 2 doesn't allow you too much interpretation that they're going to have a swing player somewhere, you know, in CT spawn or somewhere at the cross or the elevator. But
their setup has pretty much been a 3-1-1. So, and I think on the pistol round, the first round, they did a fast boost to Cat. So I'm wondering if they'll do that more and try to play that aggressive Cat that we talked about a little bit in the early game. But
that's
yeah,
dangerous. You saw how fast Armata wanted to get on Cat. You fast boost up to Cat and you peek out. There may be like 3 Ts running.
Yeah, with the flashbang popping right in your face. So yeah, I mean that is dangerous. But you know, if they have a good support player mid who's throwing flashes for them, they could also come up huge. Because if the Ts are rushing, they get flashed by the mid player. 2 CTs pop out on Cat. I mean, they're gonna mow some people down.
Well, okay, but we would love to see that. But
yeah,
at 4-4, 4-6, 4-7.
Yeah,
you know,
it's probably not going to happen.
How many flashes, right?
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, like I was just wanted to point out that they're playing the standard, well, 3-1-1 that we usually see. So I mean, they do have that swing player, who we'll see how good he is at rotating to mid. Should Armata start favoring mid and favoring B?
Okay. So I just checked in with the comms, and I want to get a bit of an update on what we're doing. It is a cleanup, like we suspected. Should be almost done. And I've asked Spangler to ping me with a status update when he's ready to go. I like how this has started off mostly even. I think Anonymous 5 is mainly kicking themselves over the fact that, God, we really knew that they were going to have AKs, and we stuck to our guns. We were like, hey, we'll beat them with FAMASs. But they didn't really play the way that they should have, right? Because with the FAMASs, did you notice that they were on the platform? What are you doing fighting AKs versus FAMASs platformed along? That is a fast recipe for getting destroyed.
They stacked. What they did is they actually had a 3-man stack all the way along. And the fast cat from Armata pretty much countered that. And yeah, then Armata still had their long engagement point from obviously plat to cross. And so yeah, they went with the gamble thinking Armata would probably rush out long, and they didn't. So it was kind of just a mistake.
I hadn't thought that might have been the gamble play, but after hearing it interpreted like you did, I think you're definitely right there.
Yeah.
That hurts though. You gamble, you lose bad. You could be up, I don't know, 4-0, 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like the heads-up play by Armata to think, you know, hey, they're probably going to stack long because they think we're going to go there with our guns, and they decide to fast cat, and, I mean, it completely worked for them, so...
And there's tape on Anonymous 5 out there. There's CEVO tape on Anonymous 5 out there. There's ESCA tape on them, so tendencies, especially on a map as prevalent as Dust 2, can be easily discovered.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to know, you know, deeper in this tournament... when we have some more clear-cut winners and losers, I want to talk to somebody, be like, how much did you prepare for this? This doesn't have, like, a cash prize.
Yeah.
That's
what I always think. I always wonder, how much do these people actually prepare? Do they just go scrim? Do they actually look at game footage? Because I feel like if it was me, I'm one of those people who actually, like, gets pretty in-depth with the research of the teams. So, I don't know.
And, you know, like, the teams, one of the more vocal CEVO teams out there, Boxer... their Counter-Strike academics, they look at tape, you know. We've heard from some CEVO P teams, and I won't name who because they prefer to remain anonymous. They were like, we actually use your casts as, you know, game footage. We watch a lot of tendencies, and we pretty much stare at the minimap the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to do it as well. I just saw on the console they said going live in 30 seconds, so
yeah, we're almost ready.
Hopefully should be very soon.
This one tells us a lot. Here are the purchases, and we're down to 0. I actually called that Brunson off buy. That's cool. So 0.50, 100, 0.50, and the purchases are exactly. Wow. Exactly.
Jaxlove actually picked up an M4. Wow.
Yeah. I really hope that he is not the support player. Our number 4, I'm going to follow him for just a second.
I don't think they have a support player right now. I mean, the only one who has nades is Holy Man, and he's in B. Oh, look at this. They kind of changed it. They're putting 2 in B now.
They're playing a passive look, actually, back on the A platform. He'll drop back with no flashes, but I guess if you're on the plat, you're okay without those nades. That's probably the best decision you can make, given your situation, and they'll reverse. The T's will back toward T spawn to control mid. 1 in Suicide, 1 at Palm, 2 coming from lower B. And I suppose the number 8-man Reds is just watching the long push that's stacked on top of that blue car. So they're going to try to control, probably move up the catwalk. And look how close that DD player is. The number 5-man, that's Holy Man, so close. Romulus, this is your entry. Misses the first, comes back with the second, is wounded. Probably swaps places with another teammate. Otherwise, he's going to get naded and surely... Oh, no, he won't. There are no nades. Just kidding. Carve. It's a piercing shot. That's Romulus. Then he looks back. He can see everybody clamoring up onto the catwalk, and the calls on the CTs are cat, 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 look, cat, look, cat. So Armata has to know this. They'll reverse out, and they'll go to long. Look in the pit. Look in the pit. Who's down there? That's a decoy. Did they check?
I think they hear it going off, so they just know.
Armata's game plan has swapped into a ad hoc 3-1 split it long. Flashes are out, and the Holy Man cannot see a thing. Then he turns and hits a beautiful shot. Doom is dropped. 2 versus 3. The T's are almost on the platform. Fast boost up, and the idea was so good. The idea was so good if they had just executed it and gotten that first kill. They did it fast, right? The death of anybody trying to use that elevator play is if you do it slow. They did it fast. They just had to hit the shot.
Yeah, and Armata was watching for it because he saw they picked up that kill really quick. Or maybe he was just looking towards Cat and saw the head pop up and was like, oh, okay, I'll just take that off. But, I mean, really, I mean, what comes down to it, I mean, there was nothing even fancy done right there. I mean, they did a smoke mid, which I kind of thought that smoke was dangerous because it was a low smoke. It wasn't on the box. And if Holy Man decided to, like, back out towards mid a little bit and look towards Cat, he would have saw their heads and would have got shots off on him. And this is a rush to B, and they actually took it. But it's an eco, so I'm just going to keep talking.
Yeah, go for it.
But, so, yeah. And so they got the entry on Cat safely, and they decided, okay, we see 2 more there at A, so we're going to go back to mid and just try to get the rotators, which they did, and they kind of lost. They lost Romulus because he took a lot of damage on that first entry. But, you know, they decided to, you know, okay, we did some damage to these guys, now let's head towards back to A, and they hit another great entry shot from long. So, I mean, the entries from Armata that round were just what did it for them.
On top of that, we're impressed with the fact that at least 2 rounds now, we've seen Armata's initial strat blow up, and then their in-game leader has made adjustments that won them around.
Yeah, good on-the-fly changes. So, I mean, they're looking pretty good right now.
Speed play up catwalk, 1 lurking at long. It's a 4-1 split like they designed before, only inverted. Brunson hits an op shot. People are blind, but nobody can see him. Spray down, support player by the car is going to do massive damage. Doom is on the flank. He can pick up an easy double right here. Now it's a 1-on-2 and a winnable one if he has 85 HP, which he does. So Spangler hops in the console and he's like, everybody good? I cleaned up the server. Everyone's like, it's purring, humming. Look at our number 6. Doom has to look to his left. He can hear that M4 firing, and he never gets a whiff. Garv drops him. They pull within 1.
Yeah, and Holy Man picks up that op again for his team. I'm not sure why they decided to go with a fast cat there when they know that Anonymous 5 was going to be buying that round. But either way, they went for it. And really, I mean, Anonymous 5 had a good hold right there. Who was wielding? It was Brunson. Brunson on top of the plat. He got 2 kills with the op before going down, so good trades from him. And, I mean, it did almost get turned around with the 1v2 scenario, but they managed to hold on.
This is a dedicated 3-2. There's a huge chasm, a no man's land out in mid, and the T's don't know it yet because it's early in the round. But you can expect the CTs to move back toward and control mid after a while, because if they don't, they're going to get run over. Smoked over in the middle, and 4 T's controlling mid, with 1 just kind of thunderfooting around and the teams being like, can you please walk? Can you walk?
Yeah, and if Armata has been paying attention to the setups from Anonymous 5, I think they'll see that they are kind of prone to the mid to B strat because they're playing 3 in A. And if they're patient, then yeah, they could just go for it like they are now.
Long pop flash was thrown from Palm, and it forces the mid player back toward the box outside of B. Brunson hits a difficult-looking shot from the headshot angle to the catwalk. Trades all over the map, and suddenly all the T's fall down in a heap. Only the guy left, and he gets promptly dropped by Jacksalope. It's tied up. Anonymous 5 has 4.
So they did go for the mid to B. You saw the swing player from the CTs was in CT spawn, did some nice spray through the smoke, did some damage. But one thing that kind of got me was someone on Armata. I didn't see who it was, unfortunately, but they went up cat and they tried to, you know, get the peak on the people who would be looking towards CT spawn through the cross, and it was actually Brunson, and he was like, no, still going to be looking at cat, and he picked up the op kill. And had they had that player, you know, that could have been a different round.
Got to push out of cat. Doom's heard it. He's seen the tracers and is dropping out, telling his teammate that I can't flank. I'm alone at mid. You guys need to hit this shot. And Brunson's looking right down toward the pit. Has a double, a piercing kill on the second. He may pick up a triple right here. Takes a flick. Double scope for the flick. A triple for him. Jackalope has another. All he needs is to not move. Those barrels are impenetrable. Let's not forget, Anonymous 5 takes the lead, and Reds 1 really wishes he could have controlled his AK a little better.
Yeah, I mean, that's a quad for Brunson. So what Armata could have done instead, well, they didn't have an op, I don't think, that round. So basically, to counter that, if they're going to go for that style of play, you got to get an opper in the pit, which isn't going to be guaranteed every time because A5 is changing up their A play. You know, sometimes they're boosting 2 onto cat quickly, or sometimes they're stacking long, so that's going to be a hard thing for Armata to read. But, you know, making sure you use your smokes to block off that opper so you don't lose 4 people.
Full-on rush into bomb site B. The number 3 man still alive for the site. Garv is still hanging on, drops the bomb. 1 guy left. He's in the doorway. That's Doom with his CZ auto twist. You're probably gonna die, Doom. Probably. And you're right about the play. Jumping into pit, trying to hit the long shot with no op. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, but I think, and I'm just guessing here, I can't tell you for certain, Doom, that flanker, was probably designed to be a distractionary force at the catwalk, but he got stopped by all those pushers, the play blew up, and of course, you know what happened after. Brunson went to town.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you see there's an opera on platform, then that kind of has to give you the idea that, hey, they must have 2 people towards cat, or at least 1 person on cat. So, but I guess, you know, maybe they made that connection now. And they also just saw that, you know, Holy Man was playing in B at the start of that round, so now they might see that they like to do the quick 2-man B. Oh, wow.
So a personnel swap here. Brunson moves out toward mid, giving up his A position. And now Armata has to make the personnel identification. Hey, we just killed the A player. We just killed the A plat player. We should be pushing A, but they're not taking any action. This could be disastrous if they don't move. Number 2 man, McVizzle's on the catwalk. He sprays down. Can't see where that last player is. They surrender the bomb. The T's do, but they still have enough control over A to see 3 versus 2, now 3 versus 1. Holy Man's the last one alive. He of Zex fame. He comes through long with M4A1 toted in hand, and the AK is just too strong for him. Look, Armata made a huge play. That lower B shot was spectacular, but then they misdiagnosed what exactly happened afterward.
Yeah, and I mean, well, when you kill a guy mid who normally plays A, then you're kind of thinking, what are they doing here? Did the mid guy switch with him? So do they still have, you know, 2 people at A that are unaccounted for? So I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's that as clear cut to say, okay, we killed the 2 A players that are normally there, so we should go. But I mean, they did have cat open from getting that
Look,
1 kill.
high-low. It's the 1.6 era high-low made famous by so many teams. 3D. In my particular instance, I love them for that. Look at how many demos we've gone through of that. That move hasn't been pulled for so long.
Yeah, it hasn't. I mean, it completely stopped those guys. Great job by A5 right there. That's the second time I think that Armata has gone fast cat in a gun round, and they've got completely annihilated. So I'm wondering if they're going to stray away from doing that again in this half.
I'll tell you right now, Armata is not prone to doing a ton of fast cats. We've seen plenty of footage on them, and it's not their style. So I think this is something they saw on tape somewhere in their research, and they realized that they're not seeing the results that they are hoping for.
Yeah, and I mean, I think both times they did it, they might have just had the quick boost from A5. So I mean, sometimes it can work against them, but A5 just is constantly changing up their positions, which is, you know, what a good CT team does. So it's hard to just, you know, get a fix of what you want to do each round.
Well, this round slows down. Armata has gone to a full mid control. Nobody protecting the B push or the long push. Everybody committed toward looking forward. Now Reds is getting a little suspicious, so he's going to go back toward long and just check. No entry. The isolated play looked like it was for Cat, but now it turns into a B-split. They've sealed off, and they look up at that scaffolding. Guard was up there being a little bit sneaky. Wasn't good enough. Holy Man has to hold on versus many. And he puts his shots just right of Red's one. One alive for the CTs. That's Jaxalope coming through mid, has an AK, and realizes that with 5 Ts relatively at full health, there's no chance. Not this round, but we can hold on to our lead.
Yeah, I think he wants to go ahead and save this because, like you said, 5 terrorists alive, that's hard enough as it is. But if you look at the economy, they aren't looking too good for the next round. Well, I mean, if he saves this, then they should be able to full buy everybody and be good for the last round.
Oh, Jaxalope, please look up. He hears him, and he cannot shoot. He has to know he's surrounded. There's really no chance. The Executioners came for him. Armata now has 6.
Yeah, and so far, I mean... So far, what it comes down to for Armata is when they win these rounds, it seems that it's just purely on their entries. I mean, they're using, you know, standard nades to block off certain areas, but I wouldn't say it's 100% based on their nade play or their execution of their strategies. I mean, when they get these rounds, just coming out to the superior aim and the entries.
Which is the standard part for the core for Duster.
Yeah, perfectly fine.
B, smoke, flash, fake. They've influenced the rotate over. They've shown that they're willing to rush B, but nothing happened. You know, there was nothing to be gained from.
You see the pre-nade on Cat. I actually liked it. I think they wanted the push to come from Cat with that fake, and they were going to nade those guys, which they actually surprisingly decided to walk in, and so they didn't get any hits with the nades, but I liked what they were going for.
Well, the plan B seems to have yielded some results. 2-1 on the trade. Jaxalope does some damage, but Stinky Board. Oh, that's the sponsor. I thought his name was that. That's Amaru. Wins that. Then over the top. There's still one at the top of the single box on the ramp doing tons of damage. Guess who? It's Brunson with an op. 2 versus 2, and he needs to save his teammate. Oh! Justice served. Garb is down. Now 1 versus 2. Now 1 versus 1. Hopper versus wounded AK wielder. Doesn't necessarily matter because that op is going to drop anybody pretty much. It's just who shoots first now, right? Here it is. And a flick shot. Brunson has a quad and the clutch defuse. 8-6.
Romulus and Brunson were looking at each other for a good while right there. Brunson had plenty of time just like, okay, I'm going to scope in here and just put it right on your head. Don't mind me. So yeah. Little of a, looked like a brain fart by Romulus right there in terms of his reflexes. So yeah, I think both teams are going to be good buy here. Actually, maybe a little bit of a light buy from the counter-terrorists despite winning the round here. So the terrorists should have the advantage going into this last round.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, no matter the outcome of this round, win or lose for both squads, it's been a pretty even half. You could be happy with the results on either side.
Yeah, I think you kind of want to prefer to be on the 9-6 side of the terrorists, but yeah.
Romulus hits the 1-1 on the trade. Holy Man is down after pushing lower B tunnels. The bomb is down at Palm, so no commitment yet and no idea of where the strat's going to formulate. They'll try to move up Catwalk and dominate it, but really, Brunson's firmly established that this is my territory. You really don't have any business being here.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing a great job this entire half with holding down Cat and A with that, as long as he has that op. Kind of a little shaky with the rifles, but yeah, I mean, he's been really good with the op and a big threat. But I mean, Armata keeps hitting A for the most part, but yeah, we have seen the attempt on B this little bit. Oh, the flank!
Yeah, and the execute was blown up in the doorway. Jaxalope and McVizzle combined for plenty. It's only one left, just Romulus, the number 0. He's gonna flank out and turn this into a 1-on-2. You gotta know that somebody's at the top of mid, but can you guess that somebody's on the other side of that smoke? Well, it's all about your instincts now. Now you gotta kind of just trust your CS instincts. He's right there. Oh my lord. It would have been beautiful. Jaxalope save his teammate at the very end. 9-6 is your halftime score. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton, joined tonight by Klops. We are so happy to be here for the reboot. Season 5's beginning with the pro placement tournament.
Yeah, I mean, wow, that yellow push from Jaxalope right there at the very end. I mean, he, I think that pretty much saved the round for him because their entire play blew up when he flanked and had mid, and they were just had him in the meat grinder right there. So
might have been the first push of the half.
It was. That was the first push from the CTs that we saw that entire half.
Save the best for last. Special thanks to our partners over at GameServers.com and CSGO Lounge. Always enjoy their services and their servers. I really want to point this out that we have a huge stack at bomb site B, and the T's are going to run into it.
That's so unfortunate for A5 here, but I mean, good guess by Armata.
Let the T's do the scouting at the other side of the map. They have to figure out that nobody's here. They have to figure
and
it out.
They're still going for it?
They're still walking in.
Don't do it.
Oh, no. Well, Garv makes it work. Garv makes it work. Reds has 1 kill. There's the trade, 3-1. The guy still fighting in the site drops the bomb. 1 versus 2. Now 1 versus 1. Holy Man has to recover the bomb, and he'll be the last one we follow. The number 5 is staring down the door. Is up in the air with his P215. Is caught with his feet off the ground. The guy wins it. The stack almost didn't work.
What just happened right there? What just happened? You got the stack. Garv comes in, makes some crazy shots. The guy responds in kind, and then the guy decides to YOLO, even though he has the bomb. Hey, I'm gonna just walk out this door and have a face-to-face fight with you, and he outshoots him. So, Jesus.
Yeah, Garv laid down the law for sure. So that's a round win for the CTs. They have FAMASs and an MP7. Never have I seen that purchased in a competitive sphere. Literally.
He's the guy. He does what he wants, you know?
He's the guy. Almost as good as the Wolf.
Almost. I do like his profile picture more, though.
They're going to walk out mid, it looks like. And this is where you start running into rifle distances. If you're going to use your short-range weaponry, your sidearms, you'd think that catwalk would be your mode of choice, but I guess they wanted to be unconventional. Anonymous 5 surrenders that round, and Armata pulls within 1.
Yeah, and they had the player in CT spawn to draw the aggro from the terrace, and you saw that flank coming down from B, and they just mowed A5 down right there. So, I mean, 2 quick rounds for Armata. Not going to be saying goodbye because we didn't get a bomb plant in any of those 2. So, yeah, CZs, but no nades from the terrace.
Oh, God, so much nades!
Oh, wow.
MP7, Justice, distributed.
The guy just made so much money right there.
Yes, he did. Only 1 alive. He does have the bomb. He's got a CZ, which means he's about to quad clutch. Or eat that.
Maybe if he didn't eat the nade. But, yeah. I mean, you gotta watch for those nade sacks going out long. They're pretty much guaranteed on the eco rounds.
We've learned something, though. Anonymous doesn't practice their ecos.
Looks that way, yeah. I mean, each one was pretty much just get it over with. Let's rush mid and then rush A on the next one. I think maybe they want the CZs to do the work for them.
Well, they've stacked. It's a 2-1-2. Armata is going back toward it. We called it in the pregame. Armata does not play the Counter-Strike Global Offensive meta where they go 3-1-1 or 2-2-1. It's a full-on 2-1-2.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're still sticking with this, but I mean, you know, if it works for them, you know, why change it?
It's turned back into a 2-2-1, by the way. You can see that CT player is next to that mid player. It looks very much like 2-2-1. And the guy waiting. You don't have enough bullets to spray with that M4A1, friends. You better swap out. He does. He picks up his opponent's AK, maybe. And
I think that's what he got, but he's sticking with the pistol.
His spray down is going to get the guy killed. All they need to do is hold down that trigger. The flank is on. These 3 Ts must be dead. Surely they must be dead. Jackslope is gone. Then the flank from the flank from ramp is defeated. Armata pulls ahead.
I was wondering what was going on there because that long firefight over at Long Double Doors was happening, and they had A5 had 2 teammates on the A platform, but they weren't getting flanked. So I guess maybe there was a guy in mid holding them off. I didn't actually see just because we were too busy watching Double Doors. Yeah,
well, it did draw the attention. I don't have the answer for you because you noticed it, and I did not. Same play, aggressive cat foot. There's a smoke in the face of the CT, and Red is all the way up in the smoke. Brunson trades with CZ, picks up an M4A1, and he may just be able to use it on the... Wow. Never mind. The guy is proving to be a stalwart defender. If Brunson was an epic wall with an op, the guy is a beast with automatic weapons, MP7s included.
I think in the past 3 rounds, the guy has gotten 12 kills. That's pretty ridiculous. He's, look at him, $11,000. He is sitting very high up there on the economy chain. But we see Brunson with the op. Oh, and he was going for that pick mid and just so happened to miss.
He did flash over, nade in, triple stack toward long, and I think the support player will drop back toward. Oh no, the guy charged the door and got sprayed down by the AK. There's the trade. Jaxalope is gone. The T's now set up. It's another mid control. Anonymous 5 will bring the bomb out. Nobody controlling other parts of the map. For, I suppose, justified reasons, as nobody has pushed thus far from Armata. And we're just going to run through smoke. This is such a bad idea. 2-1 on the trade. 3 CTs alive where they started out breaking even. Brunson and McVizzle now move on up toward bomb site B, and they'll run into the defense of Romulus, which fails. 2 versus 2. You stare down that smoke, Brunson, you may pick up an easy kill. Flash over. 2 versus 2 on the retake, 1 for the tunnels, it looks like. Never mind. The number 6 man, Doom, thinks that I'll just come in with my teammate. We're in. Nobody knows! McVizzle drops. 1 on the platform. A close shot by Brunson. No good. Then picked up. Reds made up for his mistake. It's going to be 12 rounds.
Yeah, like you said, they decided to YOLO through the smoke. Didn't check the behind the door, which you always got to check. And there was a CT lurking there that kind of put put a wrench in their plans. I mean, even after that, though, they kind of made up for it, got into B without losing a man, and they had the bomb planted. They just couldn't hold on to it, unfortunately.
You could see that logic, though. That smoke is there. Okay, so if a smoke's there, then maybe the CT backs up to B, and then we just deal with the CT spawn player. But really, that was a really gutsy play by, I think he was Doom, who just pressed up against the DDs.
No, Doom had the op that round. So.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the flick. Romulus drops Garv, then Brunson, and looks like the old hands of CEVO P are starting to flex a little bit of muscle. This is the veteran experience. Look, we got kicked around in CEVO P, sure. Yeah, make fun of us. We didn't win. In fact, we didn't even come close to winning. But we are pretty darn good.
Yeah, I mean, there's still an experienced main team in ESEA. They've played against a lot of good teams, so I mean, you know, they definitely have what it takes to win this, and they're showing it right now.
So we're going to Thunderfoot out to long, and it's going to get us killed. Or Reds is not going to be prepared. It looks like he had a frag nade out. The wrong call. They throw a smoke for the cross, and then they fast back out. They're going to try to cast the rotator. The number 9 man, I'm not sure. Amaru seems to know. I think his teammate's telling him to be patient. It's going to pay off. It's going to turn into a double. Or not. A complete fail. The guy versus 2. 1-on-1. It's Jaxalope. Opportunity missed, and then gained again. Anonymous 5 wins the round with the AK burst of Jaxalope. That was so back and forth.
Yeah, Amaru just, it looks like he got flustered right there. Missed his shots on the first guy, and I think he kind of just stressed out and had one of those brain fart moments. It looked like he had the opportunity to just completely win that round right there, but it went, you know, it went and left. Either way.
Leg. Look, Amaru just got drilled.
Oh, no.
Nades in. Jaxalope is justly traded. Looks like they took an op shot too. But of course, that's the nade of some M67 fragmentation grenades. And we have a mid look again. Surprise, surprise. Dust 2 has mid control. Armata, and you know, we've talked about this. In games that Armata has lost, I think, who was it that they lost to? Was it Reliable? Was it Reliable?
Maybe. It was a while ago since we saw it, yeah.
Whoever they played really quickly figured out they're running a 2-on-2. They're running a 2-on-2. We just move up cat, we kill the plat player, and we're inside of A. Anonymous 5 has yet to figure that out at all.
No, they haven't. Maybe they will now. Well, since they saw the push from 2 people in B, they might be deciding to go there. But you see, they actually have the number 6 man Doom is still there with that op. Yep. Never mind. That completely changed that.
The face of the round has become the same as it was the round before. A mirrored experience, sort of. Garv just sees the head of his opponent, ducks the shot, and then picks up a piercing headshot onto Reds. Reds never had a chance. 2 versus 1. Both T's for Anonymous 5 are weak. 42 HP and 15. Doom needs an automatic weapon. His teammates probably told him that we did significant damage. Now he's got to make a big play.
He's got a good chance. There's no op there to just immediately one-shot him, so I think he has a good shot.
Here we go. Into the breach. First burst missed. 3 bursts missed. Anonymous 5 closes the gap.
Oh man, I mean they were looking so good there from that push into B. Amaru actually kind of made up for his failure on the previous round. He got 3 kills, I believe. So yeah, I mean they were looking strong, and then it just kind of fell apart from there. You saw they got the A5 got the pick onto the guy who pushed out through long. So I mean they kind of played Armata kind of played it a little haphazardly after they got the advantage.
It looks for the first time that we don't have mid. Just kidding. Everybody just decided to change the game plan. They go back up to mid. The 1, 3, and 2 player at the top near palm or right side mid, trying to stare down anybody who may be beyond the smoke. Anonymous 5 has won a few consecutive rounds, so I don't think they're as afraid of an op presence on the field, and they can be a little looser now.
Yeah, they can be. I mean, they still have to worry about that.
Look at the high-low.
Yep.
Armata is doing the high-low at the catwalk. They're about to execute Garb, and if anyone runs in, I don't think they can win that. Brunson quickscopes and almost hits a dropping the guy. He comes back for that second, even though wounded. The off is still equally effective. I think the 3 CTs remaining have to get close to those Ts to help cut out the pressure that they're putting on Doom inside the site, who tried to make too big of a play. Firing squad meets Holy Man and McVizzle. Jaxalope, who clutched before, has to beat 2 now. The bomb is at that wicker basket in front of him. Both CTs are at the catwalk, and he knows it. This is tough. He flicks the flash, and he has to hit that shot. He doesn't. Armata just barely lengthens their lead just enough. Just enough.
Yeah, the last 2 players with 8 and 2 health, that was they just barely squeaked by with that round. And I mean that was a partial buy. They had pharmacists going on there, and I mean it just goes to show they had a monster money lead going into this half. And you know when you're buying ops every round going into that, and then you lose 2 to 3 rounds, then yeah, your economy just completely goes down the drain. Wow.
What are you doing? Why are you why?
CZ beats op.
This might be a suicide plant attempt, but now they're trying to jump into CT and make big plays. They didn't even get the suicide plant that they want. I get it. You know, I get it. We're veterans of the Counter-Strike scene. I know a suicide plant when I see one, but at least wait for the smoke to pop, please.
Well, like you said earlier, it doesn't seem like Anonymous 5 really has any detailed eco strats, so I think they just go for the plant, like you said. Unfortunately, like you said, they didn't wait for the smoke on that one and just got picked apart by Doom.
That was hard to watch. We have a cat push. The number 6 is almost out. They're going to be peeking that palm tree. They smoked the lower B to at least give themselves some breathing room, and Holy Man kind of knows. He says, I'm being pressured here. Look for the cat push because they're trying to make it so I can't see out of lower B.
He got 2 nades thrown at him, so that's definitely the giveaway that they have 2 people on cat.
Yeah, now Brunson has to hit this shot. He knows, and he can hit an easy headshot there. He just slid a little bit too far past that player. Mid is highly contested. Armata doesn't want to give it up, but they realize that it's a bit too late in the round to be worried about it, so they drop back their battle lines and form a 2-2-1. Tough decisions to be made for A5. Where do you go now?
Well, I mean, they know that there's essentially 3 people at A. So if that was me, I'd kind of be thinking mid to B. Obviously, the setup could have changed, and it did. And like you said, they're doing a 2-1-2 now, and after losing that guy, you see they were set up for the mid to B.
Well, Brunson's been such a star for this entire A5 squad that it's hard to imagine without him, Anonymous 5 experiencing a ton of success. 2 versus 3, now 3 versus 1, and then 2 versus 1. Jaxalope has to at least suicide plant to get this job done. 12 HP he has versus 200 HP CTs. He needs an instant headshot if he has a chance. One outside the wall, he heard him. He has to guess that somebody's coming through the tons, because otherwise, look in your peripheral vision, the guy drops him, it's going to be 15-11, and we're on to the game point.
Yeah, so I mean, exactly what I said. Since they had the 2 people on cat and they got the information from the nades going towards Holy Man in lower B, they figured, okay, well, they're stacking 3A this time. That means we can set up for mid to B, take out the guy mid, and then just take out the guy B. And they did that, but Armata adjusted their setup, and they were running the 2-1-2, so they were perfectly ready for that, and A5 just hit a wall when they executed.
It's so true. I feel like Armata is the old war vet, the non-vet, rocking in his chair being like, you listen here. You want my CEVO P spot? Great. But I'm not going to give it to you because we earned it the first time around. McVizzle and Jackslope combined to drop Amaru. Reds steps down, and I think at the top of the catwalk, the guy has to either stand his ground or win a huge battle. 2-1 on the trade. Then the nade drops another, and off shot by Doom. 2 versus 1. Holy Man's the last one alive, and this one's already ended 16-11. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Klops. What a way to start our